Hello everyone. Sometimes very different people become friends. You probably know a pair of best friends who don't have anything in common. Moreover, they're so different that you don't understand how they became friends in the first place. Amazingly, you can find such examples not only among humans, animals do that too.
What fun!
There have been many unlikely friendships in history, and today we're going to talk about some of them. Let's get it on. Lion and dachshunds. Who says that dogs are only people's best friends? For example, Abby the dachshund has a much more impressive body. He has huge paws and a thick mane. Bone Digger is a lion who, like Abby, lives in the GW Exotic Animal Park and is just crazy about his little friend. By the way, Abby isn't the only dachshund who plays with the formidable predator. The lion loves them all. This unusual gang eats together, they lick each other or even run after each other. And in turn, the lion runs away from the dachshunds as happily as they do from him. And he doesn't hurt them in any way. Even though the little dogs look like a snack for Bone Digger, he doesn't even bite them. However, he's not that friendly to everybody. Bone Digger doesn't allow anyone in the cage except for the wiener dogs, the king of the beasts. Nevertheless, when the caretaker has to take the dogs out for a while, the predator whines sadly until his friends are allowed back. Lion, tiger, and bear. Some people are proud of being friends with someone all their lives. It turns out that animals do it too. The American brown bear Baloo, the African lion Leo, and the Bengali tiger Shere Khan were once rescued from a dark basement where they were kept by their owner. The animals were in a terrible state, and the police officers who found them sent the little predators to Noah's Ark, a non-profit animal shelter. The staff fed the wounded and exhausted animals, and eventually they were separated. After all, such different predators simply can't live together in nature. It seems quite logical, but when the animals were separated, they all became weak, sad, and even refused to eat. Then people realized just how important the bond between the three of them was. As a result, the lion, the tiger, and the bear were settled together in their own fenced area, where they could eat, sleep, play, and even hug each other. Unfortunately, in 2016, after 15 years of friendship, the trio lost the lion. Leo was diagnosed with incurable cancer, so now only Baloo and Shere Khan remain. Sheep and elephant. In February 2008, Themba, a 6-month-old elephant, was orphaned. Researchers who watched the wild elephants were hoping that Themba would find a foster mother, but it did not happen. So it was decided to send the baby to the Shamwari Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, so good people could take care of him. But when Themba was transported and surrounded by people, it became clear that this was not enough. Elephants get very anxious when they're left without their parents, and Themba was no exception. He refused to eat and lost a lot of weight. To save the animal, he was introduced to a sheep named Albert. At first, these two didn't get along. The elephant chased the strange animal, roaring menacingly, but soon curiosity took over. Shortly afterwards, Themba and Albert became inseparable friends. Most importantly, the baby elephant started eating again. Still though, there was cause for concern. The zoo staff were afraid that Themba would decide that he was a sheep too and would imitate his buddy in everything. But it was the opposite. It was Albert who started copying Themba. For example, following the elephant's lead, the sheep used to eat the leaves from thorny acacia shrubs. Unfortunately, as in the case of the predator trio, this story does not have a happy ending. At the age of 2, the elephant started to be prepared for a new life in the wild, so the two friends were separated. They were still living close by, but separately from each other, so that Themba could adapt to life outside the sanctuary, like a regular elephant. Sadly, on the morning of the 5th of February 2010, the elephant died suddenly due to intestinal problems and never returned to the wild. Horse and dog. Dogs are quite friendly creatures, and there are many examples of their interaction with horses on the internet. Spoiler alert, it always looks so cute. But this story that took place on a horse farm in Ontario is really special. A watchdog named Titan was afraid of horses. until one day he met a foal named Indy, and then at that moment something clicked in the dog's head. He started licking the young horse, defending him and protecting him, and when Indy got sick he couldn't calm down, and Indy returned the affection too. Eventually the dog learned how to walk with his friend. Yes, he really knows how to lead him by the leash. Although it's not clear whether Titan understands that he and Indy belong to different species, the two definitely adore each other. Cat and bear. You must know that getting into a cage with a predator, whether it's a lion, a tiger, or a bear, can be life-threatening, especially for a small creature like a cat. Therefore, when visitors at the Berlin Zoo noticed a black cat with a bear in the same cage, they were appalled. The tragedy seemed inevitable, but suddenly the bear expressed interest in the fluffy guest. The animals sniffed each other and apparently came to the conclusion that they could get along. This was the beginning of an amazing and very close friendship between these two different animals, and when the friends had to part for a while because of the reconstruction of the zoo, they had a pretty hard time. The cat sat near the bear's cage at night, and the zoo staff were afraid the separation could affect the health of the animals. Luckily, the repair works were soon over, and the bear and the cat were reunited, and they've been together ever since. Turtle and hippo. When giant tsunami waves hit the Kenyan coast in 2004, a hippo named Owen and his herd were too close to the water. Owen was too young at the time to escape the waves together with his relatives. He got trapped in the coral reefs. Fortunately, the next day, the residents of the nearest village helped him out using fishing nets. It must have been hard, since a baby hippo weighs quite a lot. Anyway, Owen was rescued and then sent to a sanctuary because they couldn't leave the small animal in the wild. There were no hippos in the park, but Owen found himself a very unexpected friend, a giant male tortoise named Mzee. Some experts believe that Owen, looking for his mother, was attracted by the round shape of Mzee's shell and its brown color, which resembled that of an adult hippopotamus. The turtle didn't want any friends though, and ignored Owen at first, as well as the other turtles, monkeys, antelopes, and all animals in general. But Owen turned out to be a stubborn little guy, and in the end, the ice was broken. Mzee fell in love with the baby. They became inseparable. They ate together, lay together in a pond, slept next to each other. They even adopted each other's habits and appeared in a few books. Unfortunately, when Owen became too big to interact safely with Mzee, a separate unit was built for the hippo, where a female hippo was soon placed, and Mzee returned to his usual enclosure and his usual slow life. Bull and dog. Pit bull terriers are often considered to be the scariest and most dangerous dogs in the world. This breed is credited with various horrible deeds, and some people prefer to avoid them. Hardly anyone thinks that a tough fighting dog could be gentle and cute though, but they can. Chance is a dog who didn't have a happy life. He was bought at a flea market and locked up 24/7 because the new owner couldn't handle the puppy's behavior. Chance was rescued in time though, and taken to a reserve where he met Wesley, a young bull. The bull had also been abused by humans and was in great need of care. Surprisingly, these two found comfort in each other. It seems that at first, the dog thought the calf was an unusual dog breed because they were about the same height, but even when Wesley had outgrown his buddy, Chance still stayed with him, and the unlikely friendship seemed to have only grown stronger. Fox and cat. Remember the Disney movie about a friendship between a fox and a hound? Well, there's a real-life version of this story. On the shore of Lake Van on the Armenian highlands in eastern Turkey, you can spot an unusual couple, a fox and a cat. Unlike the cartoon friends, the story of these friends remains a mystery. The locals noticed the furry buddies for the first time when they were eating fish caught by the fishermen. Since then, the fox and the cat have just been said to be inseparable. They spend a lot of time together, playing, eating, and just chilling. Sometimes the weird couple can be seen on the beach, and some lucky people even manage to take pictures or videos of the fox and the cat. We can only guess how these two managed to become friends and how they met. Hey, Disney, we got an idea for a new movie. Dog and elephant. Bubbles the elephant lost her parents when she was very young. They were killed by poachers in the 80s. Luckily, the baby was sheltered in Myrtle Beach Safari Park, and soon she became famous. Bubbles appeared in many promotional videos, music videos, and even starred in movies. After the elephant retired though, she started spending more time with the park's visitors, and because of that, other elephants just ignored Bubbles. She had no friends at all, until Bella came along. As is always the case in these stories, it was purely an accident. Around 2007, the park hired a contractor to build a new pool for Bubbles. On the last day of the work, the contractor abandoned a cute puppy named Bella, leaving her inside. She was very young at the time, but immediately got along with the elephant, and the park managers decided to let Bella live with Bubbles. Of course, it wasn't an easy decision. After all, Bubbles was already an adult and a giant animal, in addition of a different species. But all the worries were in vain. The two were perfect for each other. Bella had a lot of difficulties in her life, but in Myrtle Beach she found a loving family and the perfect friend for playing games. Now the dog and the elephant play in the water together every day, and they seem absolutely happy. Psst, dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.